How's it going, everybody? This is Martin Stokes here.
And this is Dean Scurry.
And I am a traveller.
And I am a countryman.
Welcome to A Traveller
and a Countryman podcast.
So here we are today, episode 36, with the one and only Jamie Harrington.
How are you getting on? What's the story, lads?
Welcome, Jamie. Over to Dean.
No, not over to Dean.
Go on.
Man, you invited Jamie here,
Dean,
so
you better start talking, kid.
Over to Dean.
Right, we'll cut the language out for starters, okay?
Oh yeah, sorry about that.
Because if it takes language to make you feel like a man, then you're on the wrong path. Okay?
I feel like I'm in a room with me dad, me granddad.
Yeah.
Oh my God.
Yeah.
So he's the
We're not
granddad.
that old now.
He's the granddad.
What age are you, Jay?
24.
24. I'm nearly 50. Martin's just gone 50. Fuck off. I'm not your
He's like
bleeding
double my
granddad.
age, lads.
I could be your outfit, but I'm definitely not your
double
outfit.
my age.
You're only 50, Dean, so don't start acting like an old guy, yeah?
So Martin, you invited Jamie here. So it's been a while since you invited a guest on, and the guest that we have in front of us is Jamie Harrington.
Yeah, we have Jamie Harrington. He's going to do a bit of talking about anything he wants to, basically.
So where did you meet Jamie, and how did you know to invite him down?
I came across Jamie. He was on the, what do you call it? No, he wasn't, Empty Bridge.
He was on the Empty Bridge tapping for us. Is that what you do with, I guess?
No, I actually came across him by mistake on YouTube. Would you believe that? But some of the young lads knew who he was.
So a lot of people say that about Jamie.
Yeah, that's right. But they told me a little story about him then where he actually saved somebody's life, yeah? So I think we'll let Jamie explain that because he can explain it better, can't he?
So how do you know Martin?
I know Martin through the podcast. I'm a big fan of the podcast. I'm not just saying that because I'm on it.
So hold on. Do you listen to this podcast?
Yeah, I do, yeah. I've listened to some episodes. I haven't listened to all 35. I've listened to some.
No, it has, Martin.
He's been here. I've listened to some. There was one that, and actually the day I met Martin in a chipper. I was getting something to eat and he was getting something to eat, and I said to him, I heard he was a traveller, and I was saying, oh, there's this great podcast, and I didn't know Martin was your man from the podcast. Saying, have you ever heard that podcast with Dean Scurry and the traveller fella? They talk about people's wives, like a traveller man's wife that he'd never talked to another woman. And I was shocked by that. And Martin was like, yeah, great podcast, isn't it? And then he told me it was him, and we swapped phone numbers, and here I am.
Shocked? I'm interested in what you were shocked by. What was the thing you were shocked by?
Tradition. He was
Like
shocked by
tradition. Like I knew travellers had this tradition. Like I've grew up around travellers my whole life. I'm from Ballymun. Like the youth centre was always filled with traveller boys, and I never knew that was a thing. That traveller men feel uncomfortable talking to other women if they're married. Like if you're married and I'm married,
not just traveller women.
Any woman.
I
think it's mad. Like, I said to my girlfriend there, I was leaving the house, like, right, I'll see you later, I'm going to do this podcast.
Well, I know loads of fellas who are not comfortable talking to other women if they're married. Can
I hear Jamie talking, please, if you don't mind? I'm listening to you every day.
Like, I love traveller traditions. I think they're mad. Like, my missus is mad into watching Big Fat Cheap Suede, and I just keep on saying to her, you know that's not what all travellers are like, don't you?
That's right, absolutely.
And she's like, what do you mean? I'm like, that's just a show. That's just, they're getting paid a few quid to act how people want them to act. But if I brought you up to the site in St. Margaret's, you'd go, Jesus Christ, this is different.
This is a disgrace.
but okay, it's
hold on, man. Let Jamie speak. You don't be digging in for him there.
Just to touch on what you said there, right? You said that the site is a disgrace, right? And I drove into the site a few weeks ago and I was like, Jesus Christ. But that's just the way people have chose to live. So who am I to judge you?
What did you think of? Like, what did you think?
But like, who am I to judge the way you want to live?
Shocked.
So do you want to come into my house and judge me? Like, you've no.
Not really, no.
Exactly. So I've no right to judge how people in the site live.
Yeah, that's true. But the rubbish now on the entrance and the way in.
Yeah.
Yeah, it's a bad job. The council moves it, but everybody comes down that lane, tipping.
And settled people come down and tip. I've seen it myself. And then they go, them blading travellers wrecking the place.
Yeah, you're right. There's no cameras there.
Who's that person that you do there? Well, who's that accent?
It's someone asked me this a few weeks ago, right?
It's some woman lost inside you or something, is it?
I like you, Dean. I tried my hand at comedy. Wasn't very good at it. But I had this.
Hold on, I wasn't bad now.
Yeah, he said like you, Dean. You weren't very good at it.
I had this character I used to use, and it was based very loosely off a woman that lived around the corner from me nanny. I won't say her name because people will know her the second I say her name. But she's real Dublin, and she's like, how are you? Here, young fella, come here and go to shop for me.
Jamie's doing the hands and all. He's gesticulating.
And this woman has a smoke hanging out of her mouth, like, you know, she's one of them. But that's where that voice comes from.
She's real Dublin, isn't she?
Oh, she's real Dublin.
So why did you pick up on her, like?
I just, like, growing up around her, she was always real, like, she's real caring and all. Like, she in the street, she'd stop you, give a fiver and all. Still at 24 years of age. You alright for a few bob? Do you want to get something?
But you do it real well, scarily well. It's very effeminate, like.
Yeah.
And like, I'm like
the one in where was that in Connell Street? Was it where O'Connell Street where they said the woman shouted was leave it out. He could do that quote.
Yeah, leave it bleeding now.
But it's kind of, I was always intrigued by Brendan O'Carroll, who took on whoever the woman was, his mother or whatever.
Yeah,
and it's very effeminate, and it's a man doing a woman. It's really interesting. Like I'm really effeminate, but I find that bit fascinating about people that we, especially when we take on women, but we do all the actions and all that, and you kind of camp it up a little bit. Here, what you doing?
Yeah, like I've had loads of jobs, but I worked in bars for a very long time. For the last 5 years, I've worked in bars, and most recently in Temple Bar, and like. Just the Americans, they love it. So you're kind of doubling yourself up nearly for the Americans, because you know that you get that authentic Irish.
You're getting all the big tips. That's
why. The thing. You get that. How are you, folks? How are you? Welcome to Dublin. Grab a seat. Sit down. What can I get you, me pal?
Where is this?
I was working in the old Dubliner in Temple Bar, but like I'd be baiting the lads out. Like, get out of my way. I'm serving him. Like the Brazilian lads, and I can't fault the Brazilian lads. You ever
I didn't know this about you.
Ever work with the Brazilian lads? I swear to God, they're bleeding deadly.
I like the Brazilian lads.
They just want to come to work, get the work done and go home.
But they're very free with their sexuality as well.
Oh, you know it, brother. I swear to God, I used to come in on a Monday and go, so who's riding who this week? That's what it was like. It was like that. Who's riding who this week? But I used to be out when the Brazilians out like, can we wear you? They're here for the Irish experience. The Americans know what they want when they come here. They want someone to go, top of the morning to you. Yes. And I swear to God, you walk into a pub in Temple Bar and tell someone you're Irish, you'll get yourself a free drink. I swear to God, they'll buy you a drink. My family are from Ireland. Come on, buy you a pint of Guinness. You like whiskey?
I love all these multiple personalities locked away in Jamie.
Yeah.
Hiking up O'Connell Street at 7 o'clock in the morning with the sticks and all. I'm going to climb Mount O'Connell.
Would you ever think about getting into like tour guiding, that type of stuff?
So actually, I recently became unemployed. I was working for the civil service and I had a really horrible experience. I was being bullied by a very senior manager. And I brought it to the attention of HR and all the usual.
Is this going through the thing at the moment? It's resolved.
It's over. Yeah. I cut my losses and get out of there. But I left and I applied for a job with a company called Finn McCool, tour guides, and they do all the bleeding, Cliffs of Moher and all.
Like Paddy Wagon.
Yeah, same thing. But like the money is woeful and the hours are woeful, so it's not for me.
Yeah, I think you could do it, but the skills that you have are worth probably more money.
Yeah,
you know what I mean?
And I don't like history. Like school was terrible for me.
You're not telling the Americans history. You're just going, this is a cliff, that's a castle.
I know. But like for me, I always think of a tour guide as a historian or someone like. So like Pat Leedy, I love Pat Leedy. Have you ever done a Pat Leedy tour?
No, Donald Fallon we've had on this podcast.
Donald is a legend. Donald's sound. But I remember doing a Pat Leedy tour with me nanny years ago. And hanging off every word that man said. Swear to God, if he had said to me, give me €1,000, I would have took me nanny's bank card.
Would you not get into doing your own? Because I think you have a really interesting, you've got a bubbly personality, you're friendly, you don't mind hamming it up for the Americans, and you're interested in history. I
thought about it. I have like Dean, you know me, I have a deep love for Ballymun. This is my home, this is my community, these are my people. I approached a radio station about 6 years ago. Approached a radio station. There was a series of stabbings and shootings in Ballymun, and I approached the radio station and said to them basically, you know, you're only talking about the bad things. Come, let me give you a tour around Ballymun. We'll have the crack. We'll visit all the things you want to visit, and then you can tell me if it's a bad place. And they said no, and I sat on that idea for about 2 years, hounded them. And I remember a producer coming out one night. There was something happening. She came out and she was doing a story. And I just approached her. I was like, look, you're wrong. And they brought me on their show. And I basically told the radio presenter he was a knob.
Yeah.
I was like, I gave you the opportunity to come out and witness all the good in Ballymun. Like, there's so much good in Ballymun. Like, I always am a product of the youth service in Ballymun. And I wouldn't be.
I don't know if that's a good thing or a bad thing.
No, but I wouldn't be the person I am today without people like Tracy Hicks. Do you remember Tracy Hickson?
She would have been your youth worker.
Tracy and Tanya Ray, who I used to go to music club in the Recco and not do anything. I can't play an instrument. Never could. Never ever could. And every week they try and teach me something because it was just persistence, because they believed in us, and it was the level of self-belief from them responsible adults in this community that kind of shaped my life. Like, I remember ringing one of the youth workers in the Recco and telling them that I was after getting a slot on TV3, and she was over the moon. She was happier than me ma was. She was nearly crying. And it was just a 6-week slot, but she, swear to God, she was delighted.
They were investing in you, and that sounds like something that you want to do, like invest in the city or invest in Ballymun.
I just want the best for my community. This community is the best, and just I want people to realise that. Like I said when I was 16, one day I want people to sell their houses in Blackrock and move to Ballymun.
Yeah.
I still believe that. I still believe that one day people will go, we have a nice gaff there, but we have a shit community. Let's move to a nice community. Again, it comes back to this whole thing about travellers, doesn't it?
Yeah.
I know travellers are lovely people. Like, I remember a few years ago there was a death in the traveller community of a very young child who my ma was friends with her ma. And I remember just hugging this woman I didn't even know in the sight, and just she put her arms around me and just hugged me. And we were both standing there crying. I was like 17. And she just said to me, "Thanks, son. I needed that." I was like, "What?" She's like, "Nobody ever hugs me other than my family." And I was like, "You for real?" She's like, "Yeah, like you wouldn't hug a settled. Like I have no communication with a settled person, very little. And you're after coming onto this site and hugging me." I was like, "It's your time of need. Like you need a hug. I don't have a good hug."
So you're all your life in Ballymun, Jamie, yeah?
All my life in Ballymun, and all my life facing the prejudice of being from Ballymun.
Yeah, that's right.
Like, I went on first date. It's not something I openly admit.
You just did it, Jamie. You just openly admitted it on a
but
podcast.
like I'll tell you because she's our sound.
I'm sure everyone knows
You
that.
went on
anyway.
first date, which is like is an RTE dating show, is it?
Yeah, it's an RTE dating show. Basically, this producer approached me. I have an agent that gets me bits of acting work or whatever. And this producer approached me and said, "Would you come on?" And I rang him and I said, "What do you think?" He said, "Look, it'd be good for your profile. You know, it'll get you back on the telly. People will start talking about you again." So I was like, "Cool, I'll do it." But I told a story about applying for jobs in Ballymun as a Ballymunner. And I live in Coultry, so that's basically on the border of Santry and Ballymun. So I can put Santry Lane on my CV and get away with it. And I remember applying
Get away with it for who? Like for your own, your own head?
But like, so what happens is you apply for the same job twice, right? You put Santry Lane,
But
you put
I don't
Ballymun on your CV.
understand what you mean by get away with it.
So you get the job with the Santry Lane CV, but you don't with the Ballymun CV.
Yeah, but that's always been the case.
Yeah, but I'm lucky that I
Dean,
can
can we
put Santry
hear
Lane.
the story first, please?
Hold on a sec.
Go on, Dean.
That's
Go on,
always
Dean.
been the case.
Yeah.
Like when I was a young fella, I used to put, they wouldn't give you the job if you said you were from Ballymun. So you try your auntie's gaff down and bleeding Santry or something like that.
Right, yeah, well, like I've even to this day I put Santry on my CV.
Tell me what happened, Jamie. Go on.
So basically I applied for these two jobs in a shop in the Omni, and I was smart. I put 2 email addresses on it, so I knew, you know what I mean. And the email come in for the job from the Santry Lane CV, but not for the Ballymun. Exact same
Serious?
CV, exact same CV, no difference, only the address. And I went down to the shop, says, "Hey, I'm here for an interview." And your man says, "Oh yeah, come on in, dude, whatever." Says, "Can I ask you why you picked me CV?" He's like, "Oh, I liked all your skill sets." I was like, "Oh right, yeah, cool." So I put 2 CVs into the shop, just different addresses. And he didn't know what to say. He was flabbergasted. He's gone out of business now and I'm fucking delighted.
Serious?
Yeah, but you can't be surprised by that type of stuff.
Why?
Maybe it's not acceptable, or maybe it's a load of bollocks, but you can't be surprised that people have that position. It's like there was one in Pontins where they had a list of something like 40 Irish names, and if your name was on that list, they didn't take a booking. Like,
Jesus,
you know what I mean?
That's mad. Like, how are people getting away with that?
But they were doing it for years. I'm surprised that people were surprised at it. Now, they kind of said all the names were Irish traveller names, but there was like O'Brien, you know what I mean?
But it's like, right, when I worked in the pubs, you'd get the no traveller thing. Like, it would always be, "Oh, we're booked out." Whereas when I was working, it was like, "Come on in, have a great time." I remember I was working in a pub, and I won't say the name of it, but I was working in a pub, and this group of travellers come up to the door, and it was during COVID times when you had to sign in and all that shit. And I heard the accent. I was like, "How are you lads, how are you?" And your man says, "Oh, we're not allowed in, are we not?" I said, "Come on in, grab a seat."
Is that your traveller accent there that you just
"How
done?
you doing?" No, my traveller accent comes from
Go on, do it.
a fella who I still know very well, who used to sell DVDs around the doors in the flats.
DVDs.
"How you doing? I have a few DVDs there." "Oh, jeez, there's the wobbies. Throw them in the door."
How's he doing, Martin?
Good.
Is that good, yeah?
Go on, Jamie. Let rip.
These lads come in anyway, and they end up a fight broke out in the bar. Nothing to do with them. And we'd no doorman on. And the traveller lads were the first lads over behind us, saying, "We have your back, boys. What do you want us to do?" We were like, "We're alright, sit down." And someone flung a glass, and one of the traveller lads, without any anger or any aggression, grabbed your man, fucked him out, and that was it. And I said to my manager, I was like, "Here you go. They're the people who have our backs. They're the people who are starting trouble. But you won't let him in, but you let him in. Coked out of his tits over on a stag do." Because that's what the pub was. It was Sweet Caroline and fucking stag deals and...
No, play devil's advocate. There could be a night where the travelling lads do kick off.
Of course there is.
But you're not judging people on their
whole group.
Yeah, on their address, let's say.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? Or their skin colour, or the fact of their ethnic status, or their sexuality.
I suppose for me, I've always been raised very anti-racist. Like, if my mum thought I was racist, she'd bait me. She would box the head at me. Like, I've always been an activist. And when all this shite started out here, the anti-immigrant stuff, my ma rang me and told me that if I was involved in that, I wasn't welcome in her house. And obviously I would never be involved because I think they're shyhawks. And like every day I drive past one of Finglas and I roll my window down the car and I shout, fucking racists! Every day.
There's that woman's voice again coming out.
Fucking racist bastards! Every day. But I don't understand racism. And I know obviously it's a big thing and racism is racism and I have to understand it, but I don't understand how someone from a marginalised community like Ballymun, who's been forgotten about for 50, 60 years by the state, can then go and say, oh well, fuck off you out of my community, this community doesn't want you, this is the community that nobody wants, we are the people that nobody wants.
Yeah, but I think you can understand it, you mightn't agree with it, you can understand why somebody mightn't want you to work in their business if your address is Ballymun, or why you can't get access to a pub if you're a traveller, or why we don't want, immigrants into a community that's ravaged with poverty. I think you can understand it. You mightn't agree with it.
Why should he understand it, Dean? Tell me that.
Like, I think it's the same way that he understands that somebody who won't give him the job because of his address. I think you understand why they do that.
What I'm saying is, why should he understand it? He shouldn't have to understand it.
Because he understands human nature.
I understand, and I totally get what you're saying, Martin, because I shouldn't have to.
Maybe he understands better that it's wrong more than understanding that it's right.
Yeah, I'm not saying right or wrong. I'm saying, you said you don't understand it.
No,
I think you do understand it.
I understand, but what I don't understand is how somebody who comes from a community like Ballymun, we're a strong community. We're a community of givers. Like, you just look on Ballymun Talks. Someone puts up, is there anyone that can help me with this?
I bleed and hate that Facebook.
So Jamie, you apply for a job, yeah?
Yeah.
You send in a CV.
Yeah.
You're called in or whatever, they phone you in, and you walk in there and they're interviewing you, and turns out that you're a nice person, and then they realise for whatever reason you're from, let's say, a neglected area, if you like, right? Whichever way they tell you you can't have the job, or they phone you or message you, whatever. Yeah. Do you not just think to yourself, I don't understand this? I have everything they want. You have a good sense of humour. You have all the skills that they need. You're fitting, say, whatever, that'd be height, age, whatever it might be. It makes a difference. Just say you're a male, and then you're supposed to understand that. That's something you can't understand.
It's a complicated one. I understand like it, but I shouldn't have to understand it.
It seems something that you accept, but you don't understand.
I have to accept it because that is what's happening, and I can't change that, unfortunately. But I don't understand how it's allowed. That's what I don't understand. I don't understand how, as a society, we have accepted that because you're from a certain place, or you look a certain way, or you fucking brush your hair to the left instead of the right, that you can be ostracised and pushed to the side, and someone who's more presentable and happy, or whatever you want to say, like the civil service for me was a perfect example. I went in there exactly as I am now. I mean, I wasn't wearing a shirt and tie. I wasn't wearing, what they wanted me to wear. And there was another young fella, same age as me, from a nicer part of Dublin, and he got the front-facing position and I was put in the back office.
What do you mean a nicer part of Dublin?
He was from Malahide.
What's nicer about Malahide?
Nothing, in my eyes. Like Malahide, like my nana lives in Portmarnock, right? And I walk around Portmarnock.
It's at the beach, but bleeding loads of places are at the beach.
I walk around Portmarnock and get the willies. I do. I get the willies.
What the fuck is the willies?
I get the willies. Get the willies up my spine. So I get the willies walking around Portmarnock, right? Because nobody says hello to anybody. You walk, like, you're out swimming in Portmarnock, right? Yeah. Do you ever go into the duns up there?
Yeah, my brother can't go in. It freaks my brother out.
That nobody says hello to you. Nobody says hello to you.
You're right. You have to actually pay them for a salute or a how you are, or hello, or how you keep
You're walking around that.
Now, I know that you would say hello because you're like me and Martin. You talk the head off a hammer, like, you know what I mean?
But I went to Super Value before I came here, right? Got an old bottle of Coke, right? And I swear to God, I was going to be late. I was going to be late.
Yeah, I'm the same as Super Value.
How's your ma? Is your ma still doing the super run? Tell her call over me, have a few bits for. How's your dad?
I was getting breakfast the other morning and I left Emma's at like 11. I was like 12:15 and I was ringing her going, I'll be up the road now.
Like, it's mad. It is. But I just, like... So anyway, this young fella got this lovely forward-facing... Sorry, I have to open my drink here. Got this lovely forward-facing job because he was wearing a shirt and a tie and a suit and a jacket and a shiny shoes, and I got put in the back office and he was the answer. He was... Oh, ask him. He knows. Ask him. I had more experience than him, but he was in the better job than me because I didn't fit the mould of shirt and tie civil service.
Maybe that job wasn't looking for experience as its way of measuring.
They were looking for a shiny.
Yeah.
And yes, they were looking for a yes man.
What prompted you to go for a job in the civil service, and what's that process like?
So for me, it was the bar work was affecting my mental health. I've always struggled with my mental health. I've always been very open about struggling with mental health because not enough young men in Ireland are open about it. So I've no problem sticking on Instagram that I'm depressed. Like, no problem telling everyone in the world that I'm on sertraline, whatever the doctor gives me. But I found the working in the pubs at night time, finish at 4 a.m, go home at 5, being in bed at 1 o'clock, getting up 1:30, having a shower, having something to eat, going back out the door at 5 o'clock to do another 12-hour shift.
To work again.
Just wasn't for me. Yeah, in the nightlife industry, that's how it is.
How long were you doing that for?
3 years, 3.5 years.
A lot of pressure, wasn't it?
It is, and especially in the bar I was working in, it's high pace. You're serving like 1,000 customers an hour.
Go. Like,
it's all go.
And was it mainly in the Dublin or is it?
The old Dubliner, yeah, was where I was primarily. I've done a couple of other odd shifts here and there. Cash in hand, you up the tax, man. You up the tax,
Martin knows all about that. He doesn't pay the toll bridge or the NTL.
You don't pay the toll bridge.
I don't get paid myself to be paying the toll bridge or anything.
I'll tell you what, the toll bridge will take your car off you. I know a few people. Actually know a fella who done 3 months in the joy for not paying his tolls. I know a fella owes 80 grand.
phone number.
Owes 80 grand in the tolls. But yeah, like, it just the nights were affecting me mental health.
Clamps? Do you pay for clamps?
No comment. Well, I pay for the Dublin City Council ones because they can come and take your car.
Or do you go around with an angle grinder in the boot?
But any of the private companies have a couple of clamps for sale.
Yeah, some fella sold me a key for the clamps once and I bought it off for 50 quid. It didn't work on any of them.
Oh, you'd be sick. Like, the nightlife industry was affecting me mental health. It was affecting my relationship with my girlfriend. I was seeing her probably twice a week, and when I was seeing her, I was wrecked. I was a horrible person to be around. Like, I was always moody because I was tired. And, like, don't get me wrong, lads, I was making a blading fortune. I was making a fortune.
What's a fortune for you, like, of a night?
I was doing 100 quid a night in tips, plus my salary.
Plus your salary, yeah.
So, like,
and you'd be working how many nights?
4 or 5.
So you could get $1,000 a week?
Easily, like.
Yeah.
But I was blown it because it was costing me 20 quid a day to park my car. It was costing me 12 quid a day to have something to eat. And then you'd have 3 or 4 cans of Monster at 3 quid a pop. So, like, it was costing me money to be.
You were eating healthy, is that what you were saying?
Yeah, man, I love healthy eating. Do you not look at me sitting here, Dean, and go, that man is the epitome of health. Get that man a smoothie. Yeah, no, it took a toll on me mental health, me physical health, everything.
Your relationship.
My relationship. But, like, it also took an effect on, like, my social life. Like, I'm 24, I should be out having the crack. Like, I don't really drink. I probably drink once every 3 months. Not that I'm a teetotaler, but I don't enjoy being drunk. Like, I used to go to Hangar. Do you remember Hangar?
Is it in Temple
Andrews
Bar?
Lane Theatre. You know where...
Oh yeah, I do that.
So that used
is
to
that
be
whole thing gone now?
Gone. Hotel.
Yeah.
Hotel. Go on, ask me another place and I'll tell you. Hotel. Dublin City Council. Hotel.
Corner of A and B. Hotel.
But I used to go to Hangar on a Monday night used to be called 2 Euro Martin. 2 Euro Mondays, Martin. I would have loved to bring you 2 Euro Mondays because you would have hated it.
What was it called?
2 Euro Mondays.
€2 Monday. Every drink is €2 of a
Vodka
Monday.
Red Bull, €2. Double vodka Red Bull, $3.50.
How long ago was this?
About 3 or 4 years ago, before COVID. It was a beautiful time. I remember the day it closed down. I was out canvassing, right, for a politician. And a fella rang me, says, Jamie, have you seen Hangar's Instagram? I went, no. Took out my phone. And I had a little cry. I was devastated. Because my social life, for period of time, my social life revolved around going out with 30 quid in your pocket and getting blading banjoed and having enough to get a kebab on the way home.
You're living the vida loca.
Oh, I love a kebab. Would you like a kebab then?
It wouldn't be something that I'd rush towards. I wouldn't throw it away now, but
Yeah.
there's a great place in town I go to, Zaytoon. I'd probably go about twice a year.
I'm not mad about Zaytoon. And actually, a mutual friend of both of ours, who I won't mention because he probably won't want me to, loves a Zaytoon. I'll talk to you after about it, but he loves a Zaytoon. But do you like a kebab, Martin?
Now and again, Jamie, honestly.
And your young fella? See, you like kebabs?
Oh, watch this stop. I can get enough of them.
Actually, I'll tell you, first time I met Martin's young fella, he tried to sell me a car. He said to me, "Are you happy with that car?" I said, "It's grand, okay." It's like, "I have a nice one up in there." It's like, "No, I'm alright. Are you sure? Come up and have a look at it." It's like,
I love the way you just slip into the accident. You don't give a rat's who you're offending. Just go, I'm just saying, like,
it's not about offending. Like,
you want to hear Martin doing a Ballymun or
go
a
on,
Dublin
Martin, give us
accent?
a
Can't
hit
do
me
it.
with it.
What he says is, here, leave it out.
Like, I know that I'm not offending somebody because to be offensive to somebody, you have to have malice in it.
That's
I
right,
think.
absolutely, yes.
And I believe there's no malice in me having the crack. Like, I would meet traveller lads all the time. Like, I used to hang around with a delivery driver and we used to do deliveries, and we were one of the only places that done deliveries into the site. And I used to love it. Do you know who I love? And this is controversial, right? Huey Mon.
Yeah, he's good.
Why is it controversial?
Because some people don't like, some traveller, like you meet a
Some
traveller,
people don't like me, but
you
liking
meet
me
a
is not
traveller.
controversial.
you'd meet a traveller and say, he's a fucking idiot.
We're all fucking easy, Jamie. You're the biggest fucking idiot here.
You're telling me, brother.
Second only to me and Martin.
Now, like, I love Huey Mon. I just think he is who he is, and if you don't like him, fuck off.
You know what the best thing I think about Huey is? Was because we had him on this podcast, and he's so intelligent.
Good
but
talk,
he's starting to love himself in a non-vain way.
Great.
You know what I mean? He's starting to really appreciate who the fuck he is.
Do you
He's
love
amazing.
yourself?
Yeah, every moment of every day.
Do you love yourself, man?
He's very intelligent, isn't he? Very good speaker.
Do you love yourself, man?
Well, so Jamie, if I don't love myself, who else going to love me?
So I say this all the time. When people say to me, "You're bleeding mad about yourself," I'm like, "Do you know I am? I'm
know what,
losing my hair.
I
I'm
think-
6 stone overweight, but so fucking what? I'm bleeding gorgeous.
You're being gorgeous. Say that again.
Gorgeous.
No, say it proper Dublin. Go on.
You're bleeding gorgeous, you are."
There's a version of me that when I see her, I go, oh yeah, like the physical version. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
When my hair is cut, me beard is trimmed, I'm at the weight that I want to be. But I think that's all superficial stuff. Below all that, I definitely think, yeah, I'm fucking deadly. Like,
I believe, right, that if I can walk around every day feeling like I'm deadly, and don't get me wrong, there's days where I walk around and I want to fucking throw myself in front of a bus. But I believe genuinely there's days where I can walk around and radiate positivity. Like, people will walk by me and go, "Jesus, he's fucking..."
that's not what they're doing.
No, they're going, "Look at that fucking..."
Who the fuck
Do you
is
think
this
that,
guy?
Jamie?
What's
Yeah.
he after taking?
Yeah,
No,
but
like,
in all honesty, you're entitled to your opinion at the same time, aren't you?
I believe...
And I don't think anyone can take that away from you, am I right?
Exactly, and I believe positivity breeds positivity. If I can say, "Thanks very much, have a nice day," to your man that's serving me a coffee,
But sure, isn't it better to feel good about yourself than feel bad?
too right.
So why not?
A wise man once said, "Isn't it better to feel good about yourself than it is to feel bad?"
He was so excited to get you on this podcast.
Why? I'm just a young flip.
Jamie, go on, tell us all about the experience you had on down on the
Halfpenny
Keys.
Bridge.
Yeah.
The story I hate telling.
Staff
This is
in
the
the
story
first.
that people define me by.
Oh no, is this
Well,
this
there's
is
a lot-
another story?
there's
'cause
a lot of people
you've
that know
started
about
about
it.
16 stories there.
There's a lot of people that know about it and there's lots that doesn't. So, go
So
on.
I'll tell you before I move any further. I should have told you at the start. I am diagnosed with ADHD, ADD, and Asperger's
No
syndrome.
fucking way.
Right? So I have never let it define who I am. I've never taken Ritalin for it. Thanks, if me dad's listening, thank you, you mad bastard, for not letting them put me on Ritalin, because it would have changed who I was. I remember Dean, and I'll tell that story in a minute, Martin. I will, I promise you I'll tell
go
it.
on, yeah.
But I remember Dean, do you remember Occupy Dame Street?
Yeah, I do.
Do
Yeah.
you remember you brought me to a march?
Yes.
Do you remember you gave me a microphone?
Yeah, I do. Yeah.
That's the time you got him locked up.
So we were walking down O'Connell Street.
That's the day I fed his ego.
We were walking down O'Connell Street, and Dean Scurry hands me a microphone on the back of this truck and says, "Say what you want." And he was after been saying, "If you are gay, come and join us. If you are this," and I just continued on, and we got to the Central Bank, and I was on top of the fucking world. I was just like, "Do you know what? This is deadly.
Yeah.
This is
What was
deadly."
deadly about it?
The fact that ordinary people were moving through a city, holding a place hostage.
With the freedom of speech.
Don't say that too loud now.
No, but like genuinely holding the city to
Yeah,
ransom.
it was protest.
It was protest. It was a beautiful, beautiful thing. I love a protest. I do. And not because...
Well, I might be needing you shortly, so...
Man, I'll join you. And the thing is, right, I don't love protest because it's disruptive and because it's this, but I believe it works. I believe that... And you don't have to stand and block a road to protest.
But it grabs attention, doesn't it?
But a protest can be anything. Like, imagine I'd done a silent protest. Jesus, the world would stop.
There's people begging for that.
I done a sponsored silence a couple of years ago. 24 hours, yeah. For a charity.
This podcast is like your and my brain. It's just jumping from one thing to the next.
So I'll tell the story of the bridge, right? And I'll tell you the real story because yous are sound.
You look real comfortable now, so sit back and listen to this.
A few years ago, I was on the mitch from school. Wasn't great in school. Didn't get on well in school. Just didn't. The school I went to wasn't prepared to deal with what was going on in my life at the time. And I just was a bleeding dickhead. To be honest with you, I was a dickhead. So I used to go on the mitch all the fucking time.
From school in Ballymun?
School in Whitehall, went to Plunkets. And it's sad when I look back at the class that I was in because there was 11 of us in the class. 3 of them are dead. 3 of them are drug dealers. 2 of us have normal-ish lives and 1 of them is an international footballer. So it was a big mix. But I used to go on the mitch all the time. So they kicked me out of that school and they sent me to a school in town called St. Lawrence O'Toole Special School. And I was the most unlikely candidate for that school. Like I was nice and friendly and I'd never been arrested, never been in trouble with the guards. Would only ever have positive interactions with the guards. And they sent me to the school and it was like a prison. You got searched going in. Took all your stuff off, you put it in an envelope.
And they call it the special school?
It's called Slot 2, St. Lawrence O'Toole Special School.
Fuck, and it still exists?
Still exists. It's on Amiens Street behind Marino College. And as a youth worker, when I was working as a youth worker, I've supported many young people in that school. But they sent me there, and I used to just go on the mitch because my ma would walk me to the bus stop on the main road. And I'd get the bus in and tell her, oh yeah, get off the big train, walk down through Summer Hill, it'll be a great time, I'll go to school and have a lovely time, and all lovely. And I'd stay on the bus and I'd fuck off into town. And I'd go off to, my routine was go into McDonald's, my ma give me a £5 for my lunch. Go into McDonald's, get a ham and cheese toasty, large Coke, $3.60. Into Dr. Quirky's down at me $1.40 and try and win a few quid back to spend the day in town.
Oh, was this every day?
Most days, yeah. Not every day, like probably 2 or 3 days a week. And then, remember, I met a group of people, they were buskers, and they're now some of my closest friends in the whole world. And I went on to do loads of release a charity single with them and all. But
who was that?
Luke Clerkin, Orla Kenny, the Never Long Collective. We were called the Never Long Collective. We used to busk for a charity, and we had everybody out. Like Glenn came out and busked, Gavin James, the Coronas, you name it. We had them. Like we used to just send emails to people and say, we're going to be in Temple Bar Square on this day at this time. We'd love you to join us. But back to the story. Sorry, I'm a bit of a trailer.
Martin loves an old trailer.
Oh, I love a trailer. I've got a nice new trailer. I couldn't believe the money they spend on them fucking trailers. 50 grand, some fella told me.
That's fucking cheap.
That's all talk. It's like gypsy weddings. That doesn't.
He's like, cheers, no, thanks,
that doesn't happen. She'll buy a house, you get 50 grand. Says you, where's the house?
So I remember one day I was in town on the Mitchin School and we were busking on Henry Street, me and another 2 young fellas. And I said, I'm going over to Candy Lab in Temple Bar to get a bottle of Gatorade. This American drink that I used to be mad about, full of sugar, like all the E numbers you can imagine, be bouncing off the walls. And I used to drink about 4 bottles of it a day. And I was walking over the bridge and I seen this fella sitting on the ledge of the bridge, and just in my mind, I don't think before I do something, I just do it. I'm just a doer. Just walk straight and said, are you alright? And he said to me, oh, just leave me alone, I'm grand, I don't want to talk about it. You know, go and do what you were doing.
So now you knew there was something wrong then?
So I knew there was tears in this fella's eyes, and like about 1,000 people walked by him sitting on that bridge.
And no one talked to him? Not
one person even looked at him. People were too busy in their phones or looking around.
And obviously he looked distressed before you even asked him.
Oh, he looked like he was going to throw himself in. Cause that's
and everyone was just passing him by.
So I said to him, look, why don't you come down and sit here? I'm only a young fella, but I can listen. I don't know the answers to your problems, but I can listen. And I sat in the ground with him for 45 minutes and then convinced him to ring an ambulance. And I remember ringing 999 and saying to your man on 999, saying to him, look, this fella's been trying to throw himself into the bridge. Your man said, yeah, he's not a priority call at the moment, but I'll try and get someone out to him.
Serious?
And I was like, not a priority call? And then I stayed on the phone for a few minutes and he said, I've someone on the way to you. So an ambulance came then, And I convinced this fella to go in the ambulance. And people always say to me, was he homeless or was he, a drug addict or what was he? This fella, and still is, and still in contact with him. Well, he's kind of not talking to me at the moment because of RTE, but it's another story. But
bleeding drama queen, this fella.
no, RTE basically came to me.
Let's not go into another story now, fuck's sake.
Oh, yeah, go down a minute. Do this one first. I'll go with the next one then.
Basically, I swapped phone numbers with him before he left. I swapped phone numbers before he left. I said, look, give me a shout later on if you're still up in the hospital and you need a sandwich dropped up. You know, if you need whatever. Good. So, a couple of months later, I get a text, and it was him, and he wanted to meet up with me. So I met up with him, had a cup of tea. Well, I didn't have a cup of tea, I'm lying. I don't drink tea. Probably had a bottle of Coke, and met up with this fella, and we're sitting there and chatting away, blah blah, how's things at home and whatever. And he says to me, the missus is pregnant. I said, jeez, happy days. It's my worst nightmare. I'm delighted for you.
Was he an Irish lad? He was?
Yeah. I was bleeding delighted for you. It's my worst nightmare. Never having kids. And then he says to me, and we're thinking about naming the baby after you. And I was like, what? He was like, yeah, we're thinking about naming the baby after you. So I was like, look, I'd be honoured, but I don't expect it. Like, I just done what any normal human would do. And they did. They named the baby after me. She gave birth to it.
As far as he's concerned, you genuinely saved his life.
Yeah, big part of the baby's like, I see the baby often. Like.
Do you? Yeah.
So there's a bit I missed between when you called the ambulance and when he was lying down with his partner making a baby. You called an ambulance. What happened at that point then?
Oh, so we just sat there talking.
Okay.
So I just kept him chatting. The one thing I wanted to do was for him to calm down. I just wanted to bring him back down.
And what was he doing there?
He was sitting on the ledge of the bridge.
Yeah, but
he was
what had brought him there?
Work. So he... Don't want to say too much about him because in case anybody is listening and knows him, because he's very private. But he had a very high pressure job. He was working in the financial services at the time. He was under a lot of stress. He was in debt, and he thought the only way out was to fucking throw himself in the liffey. Like.
Yup, Sally in the liffey.
And when I think back to it now, I remember sitting on the path with him and I made a joke. She wouldn't even die if you went in there, pal.
You said to him?
Yeah.
Did you?
You were trying to talk him over by using reverse psychology. That wouldn't even kill you. If you want to really die, come on, I'll show you what to do.
Yeah, basically. But yeah, so that's the story, and there's a baby out there named after me, and like I've met the wife loads of times, and they're married now.
So when you were sitting there chatting to him, he started chatting back. So then he
started spilling his heart to me.
Wow, yeah.
It was an open, honest conversation. I was saying to him, like, I've been depressed. I've had a shit 6 months. Got sent to this school. It's in this school bleeding psychopaths, and he was like, no way. And I was telling him all about it, and he was like, wow, this is just a normal, you don't...
I thought my life was bad.
Yeah, basically, it must have been. He offered to help me up onto the bridge. So the baby is called Baby Jamie.
You're skipping forward again. I want to get to the bit where the two of you looked in each other's eyes and realised both of us are human, both of us are vulnerable, both of us have problems. And then how did you head off from each other? You know what I mean?
So basically then what happened was we're sitting there chatting and the ambulance pulls up.
Okay.
And the ambulance man gets out and he swaggers over it like it was an issue. Like, what are you fucking wasting my time for? So he gets that vibe and I get that vibe off the ambulance man, and I say, look, you're better off going and getting checked. You're better off. Look, sure, what's a couple more hours? You're meant to be in work anyway. So he goes off. But before he went off, I wrote my number. I said to the ambulance, can I show you a pen? I wrote my number down. And I said to him, give me a shout if you need, like I said, if you need a Sambo or you need someone to sit with you up there, give me a shout. I'm free all day. I'm meant to be in school. So that was it.
What age were you then?
Probably 15 or 16. Yeah.
What age was he?
He would have been about 33 or 30.
So he was a fully ass grown adult.
A fully grown ass man.
Yeah.
Like mortgage and all that important stuff. All that adult stuff.
Kids, the ones that you don't want.
Never. If I could get the snip now, I would. But the story I was going to tell about RTE was about a year and a half ago, an RTE producer from the Late Late approached me. And they were like, look, we'd love to talk about this on the Late Late. And I was like, oh yeah, cool. Like, because when it happened, when the story broke on Humans of Dublin, it was a media whirlwind. And I was working for Dublin 2020 at the time, the Capital Culture bid. And all these companies, all these media companies came to me and were like, we'd love to hear this story. Give us the exclusive. And I freaked out and went into a hole and ran away and locked myself in the office. And Easel Bourne, who I am forever in debt to, rang me and said, Cape O PR, who are our PR company, have said they're going to look after this for you. You talk to who you want, they will tell you, and you say yes or no. She'll send you an email at the start of every day, you say yes or no. And they looked after it all. And do you know what? I never actually got to say thanks to them because it was such a massive whirlwind.
The whole kind of social media thing was taken off.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? Because before that, not every person wanted or knew about that you could have this, say, Andy Warhol's 15 minutes of fame. You know what I mean? And I'm not saying that that's what you were looking for.
No, God no.
But in the last 10 or 15 years, it seems like that's what the whole world wants.
Yeah.
You know what I mean?
So I got a lot of that. I got a lot of accusations about that. But I remember the big one for me was BBC Breakfast contacted. Your man sent me a Facebook message. And I was like, look, Cape O are dealing with all of this stuff. Please go and talk to them because I am 16 and haven't got the head to be dealing with it. And so Cape O rang me, a woman called Sarah, said, look, they want to fly over tomorrow morning to Manchester, to Media City. They'll put you up, they'll pay for your flights, they'll pay for dinner, whatever, but you need to bring an adult. And I remember saying to me, Ma, will you come with me? And I was like, I'm working, I can't. So I rang me nanny, who's my best friend in the whole world. I would take a bullet for that woman. Genuinely would take a bullet for her. And I rang her, I said, do you want to come to Manchester tomorrow morning? And she was like, okay. She didn't even ask why. She said, okay. So they flew me to Manchester, but there was... The night before, like, I sat up all night in the apartment crying because I was so anxious because I was just getting the most horrible abuse online. So basically what happened was the BBC said, look, we'd love to fly over, but we need to verify this story. So I rang him and said, how are you? This story has gone viral. I had already checked with him about the Humans of Dublin thing. He was like, yeah, totally fine as long as you don't use my name or anything that'll identify me. And I was like, cool. So the producer said, look, can we do a 3-way Skype call between me, you and him, confirm the story, get it locked down, and then we're happy to go. So I was like, look, let me run it by him. And he was happy to do that. And young fellas from Ballymun, who I see every day now, made my life a living hell in that 8 weeks of that storm. There's a very, very outspoken young person from Ballymun who was so horrible to me that I lay in bed crying for 3 days over what he put me through. Pass me in the street every day now and try not to run him over. It's so hard. That's against the law and I am a law follower.
Make sure you say that on a podcast so we record it, and if you do ever kill him, we have evidence. I couldn't kill someone. I don't have the guts. To go back to the story, RTE then said, look, we want to verify this. And I was like, yeah, no problem. Let me talk to him. Same thing. And he said, I'd rather not. He said, you know, we've moved on from it in our lives now. I'd rather not dig up the past. So I went back to RTE and said this, and your woman from RTE accused me of making it up. And I went back to him and said, look, they're accusing me of making it up, but you at least say that it, like, verify. And he was like, yeah, no problem. And I passed the number over to the producer, and she hassled him for about 4 weeks, ringing him every day. She found out where he worked. She was ringing his office looking for him. Yeah, it was a horrible time. What was the moral of the story? What did you learn from all these experiences with BBCs and RTAs?
Don't trust the media.
Did he get angry with you about this then?
He got angry with me, yeah. Didn't talk to him for...
So he blamed you for drawing this onto him, basically?
Didn't talk to him for a long time. It was a very hard time in my life. But we're moved on from it now because we're adults.
So you good now, yeah, too?
Yeah.
Oh, very good.
That's the story Martin wanted to hear. That's the only reason Martin brought me in. Martin, you're a man of God.
Oh, hold on. Here's where the tables turn now. Jamie's going to interview Martin.
No,
No, I just wanted to ask you, what was that thing you sent me on WhatsApp this morning?
A prayer. Yeah, very interesting. It's a good morning. Have a good Sunday. And a little prayer to go with it.
Happy
So
days.
basically, Jamie, you got a blessing.
Wonderful. I'm not a spiritual or religious man, but my ma is. And I'll send it to her.
Yeah, it's nice, actually.
There you go. I
I
just wanted to know
do
this.
send them around every day to everybody. And
When you got it, because I get loads of them off Martin. And
all of my
like,
contacts, I send them to everybody.
I'd say people look at them.
at the start, it used to freak me out a bit, but it doesn't anymore. And I just look at them going, I'm privileged to have someone like Martin send me something like that. That means
Yeah.
a lot to him. It mightn't
Yeah.
mean too much to me, but I know it means the world to him.
I'm not a mask or I'm not a religious person, and I've no problem saying I don't follow religion. But Father, me and you, we've had a conversation about Father Deco. If Father Deco rang me now and asked me to bleed and drive to Cork and back,
Right.
I would.
Yeah.
But it's not because I believe in the Holy Power or whatever, it's because I believe in Father Deco.
Because he's a friend, basically.
And I believe that Father Deco has influence in this community that no one else has.
That's right.
Like, that man is a walking... Like, if anybody deserves a sainthood, it's him.
Yeah, absolutely.
I don't know, do you know Father Deco?
I know Deco really well, yeah.
Deco is a bleeding gent. Like, Deco would give you his last 250.
I just think it's great that the priest in Ballymun is called Deco.
Well, his name is Declan. Like, you want to get all formal.
No, but we
Brother
all
Declan of the clergy.
like if I go up to him, I say, all right, Deco, what's the crack?
Yeah, me too.
I know Father Declan now 32 years. 32 years, yeah. First time I met him was in 1991
Where was that?
in Finglas.
Yeah,
And
it's mad.
the Church of the Annunciation. That big church is knocked down, isn't it?
Yeah, it's gone. Yeah.
Massive church.
So here, since we're talking about churches, I'm going to do like, I think it's a Joe Duffy, where I go, what do you think happens? You don't believe in God, you're not very spiritual.
So, I'm a bit of a weirdo, right, about death. I have my funeral planned, right? I don't know why, and my mates, like my friend Orla knows, there's a guest list to my funeral, and she used to stand at the door of the church and allow certain people in.
And not allow others in?
And not allow others in. There's a list, and if you're not on the list, you're not coming. And Martin, I'm happy to
Your
say...
name's not there and you're not coming in.
Been happy to say, Martin, you are now added to my funeral guest list. It is a
I
big...
better not be on this fucking list.
So, Jamie, where did you get that from, tell me?
I don't know, I just... So
Does that come from older families?
No, because my ma has...
generations?
Like, oh, well, my ma has her funeral planned, actually. But, like, I just believe that a funeral is a celebration of life or whatever, right? And I don't want a funeral in a church, personally, but it break my ma's heart to have to give me a funeral somewhere else. I believe if it is a funeral, it's a celebration of your life. It's not a celebration of your death, or it's not Jesus, he's gone. It's Jesus, he had a great time when he was here. Didn't he have a fucking great time? Wasn't he bleeding gas? So I want my funeral to be great crack. But where you ask me where you think you go, Dean, I don't know. I think he's just going in the hole. That's it.
Where would you like to go?
Where would I like to go? A nice sunny beach. A few cocktails.
After you die,
Couple of
yeah.
cans of Red Bull.
Couple of cans of Red Bull and a kebab.
And a kebab.
No, lads, talking about kebabs.
Let's stay on this because you'll shift this story into something else. To be a bleeding helicopter dropping in
So
here in a
suppose you
second.
live till you were 90 years of age, maybe 100, what happens? Does that not change your plans completely, no? What about the people on the list if they're not around by then? Huh?
I don't want people at my funeral to be
Are you
sitting
going to
crying.
write a new list every 20 years?
I don't want people at my funeral to be crying.
They'll be fucking, they'll be crying, laughing, cheering.
It's not a sad occasion that I'm dead. When I die, I will have died having done everything I wanted to do in my life. I'm happy in my life now.
Jamie,
If I walked out the door here and got a smack at the 13A, well, it wouldn't happen because 13A is not in existence anymore.
It doesn't come there anymore.
If I walked out the door now and got hit by a bus, I'd die a happy man.
So tell me something, Jamie. If you talk about that now around your parents, would they be freaked out with you?
No. Death is a very open conversation at my house.
Serious?
Very open conversation, yeah.
So what do they think?
My ma thinks it's gas that like I have my funeral planned, but
No. What does she think of the death thing?
oh, my ma believes in the higher being and you go to heaven and
Okay, yeah.
yeah, my ma believes in that and my dad doesn't. My dad's well, actually, perfect example. Drove by the church, went to Ferry House Market today with my dad and my missus, she'd never been.
Do I know you're that?
Yeah, Twinny is his name. He has a brother Kevin, Stephen.
Because I know
Kevin.
your ma really well.
Yeah, she's penhole. But Twinny is my dad. I'll show you a picture
Your
of my
ma's amazing.
But drove by the church in Finglas where my man and dad got married and then got divorced 2 years later. But drove by the church and my dad blessed himself. So what are you fucking blessing yourself for?
He said to you.
No, he blessed himself.
He blessed
What are you
himself.
fucking blessing yourself for? I said, just drove by the church. She said, Nanny, I didn't kill me if I didn't bless myself. I said, Dad, I haven't seen you. The last time I seen you at Mass was Grandad's funeral. And you said I was smoking for the half of it. So I moved in with my dad about a year and a half ago. I was renting in Ballymun. Made the big leap out of my ma's house because I was sick of living with my little brother. He's a pain in the hole.
We're all a pain in the hole, Jamie.
No, but he's a robbing little bastard. Sleep with your wallet in your pocket. Because he just doesn't understand that that's my money. And lovely young fellow. But I moved into a house in Sandy Hill and the landlord was capital see you next Tuesday. I had an argument with one of the girls. I was living with 3 girls in the house and I had an argument with one of them and the landlord threw me out with about a week before Christmas. And I had nowhere to go. I was literally on my arse, no space in my man's house. Like nothing. And I rang me dad and I said, look, can I move in with you for a week? And he said, why would you move in with me for a week? Just move in with me. I've lived with him ever since and we have a great
Wow,
crack.
and did you have a relationship with your dad?
Not really.
Wow, that's fucking...
Like, not really. Like, I see him.
Here, that's handy, isn't it?
It is. Now, look, don't get me wrong. He is a pain in the hole sometimes. He's real particular. He loves things done military precision. Like, put a few bob in the gas every week as part of me rent or whatever. But I forget. I just forget. Not that I'm not doing it on purpose.
You forget. He's only one thing to do and he forgets it.
And my dad came in on the Saturday and said, "Did you put the money in the fucking gas?"
Who's that voice you're doing?
That's me dad. Nah, my dad. So I'm a Harrington, right? And the Harringtons are singers, musicians. They're talented people. And my dad's talented. He's a Harrington, but you could hum a song to me dad and he'd take out the guitar and he'd be able to play it.
The guitar?
He'd play it back to you.
Very good.
My granddad was a whistle player. All my family are singers. Like, you go into any pub in Finglas and you'll find one of my family sitting at the bar.
And do you sing?
A little bit. Like, I wouldn't sing professionally. Actually, do you know what, Dane? You're going to hate me for saying this, but I have a massive love for Glenn Hansard, The Frames, Damien Dempsey, because of you and Sparky. So I remember hanging around with Sparky.
Oh, I seen you come out on stage with Glenn one night.
You got that on video, you
Yeah,
bollocks, and my
that
dad
was
brings
great.
it out at every
Yeah,
Christmas
yeah,
party.
very good.
Every family do. My dad says,
Hold on, I'll show you it's Jamie in Vicar Street. Hold on. Here, turn that down.
I think Glenn was just enamoured by how amazing you were doing at the time or
I've
whatever.
seen that. Did Glenn call you up at the time?
yeah.
And he let you play the guitar as well, didn't he?
Yeah, I've heard you sing. I forgot all about that.
Yeah.
So sorry, you were
so
saying
I have a voice, but I don't use it.
you were saying something about Sparky and your dad and singing.
Yeah, so Sparky basically found me when I was younger and I was in a really shitty place. I was having a horrible time in life. And Sparky introduced me to you. I had known you, but I didn't know you. And Sparky introduced me to you, brought me swimming. Remember the first time going swimming with you, I wouldn't get in the water. And you said to me, you have two options, get in or I'll push you in. And I climbed down the ladder.
That was a great help, wasn't it?
And I didn't know it helped because I climbed down the ladder. And now I love swimming.
Not everyone gets that tenderness.
No.
Sink or swim.
And then Sparky, we used to listen to Negative Vibes in the bus. You'd be baiting around town going, "I'm never gonna it." And just top of your voice, you'd be baiting around town singing.
That's not your singer voice.
No, that's not my singing voice. And then I just developed this love for like Irish
Do
indie
your
folk.
singing voice, Jamie. Go on.
Nah, I'm alright, lads.
Ah,
I'm
go on,
alright.
Jamie, do your
I'm
singing
off.
voice.
No,
I'm off singing for Lent.
It's not going to go away. Do your
I
singing
give up.
voice.
You're a religious man. I give up
do
singing
it-
for
do
Lent.
it.
Martin's a great man and not singing as well. So if you feel like singing, we would love
Go on,
to
one
hear
verse
you.
was
Honestly, I
singing.
don't.
Even a couple
sing.
of words of your
I
singing
don't
voice,
sing.
Jamie.
I don't. I just.
Martin's trying to encourage Shay. Although when I try to encourage Martin, he gets all
I
shy.
do you a deal, Martin, right?
It's
Yeah,
not all
well.
as simple. As
You
as-
sing a song and I'll sing a song.
Oh.
Go on, sing first, anyway. Go on.
He didn't come up to lift you on the last punch.
You're going to. You're just about to win the
What
deal.
songs would you? Sorry, what songs would you enjoy singing?
There's a song, and we spoke about funerals. It's Star Star by the Frames.
Oh my God, yeah.
It's me song. It's me funeral song. it's the song.
Star,
That's the
teach
one. You're not
me
gonna get me
how
singing
to
it.
shine. I'll sing. I don't need you. Teach me how to shine. Teach me
so I know what's going on in your mind. That tune
Wow.
is the song of all songs.
Well, can you go up there where Glenn goes?
Yeah.
Star. Hold on. Let's try and get it together.
No, I
right?
can't now.
Star, star, teach me how to
I can't now.
shine. Oh my
I'm
God.
not warmed up.
So when I was your age, I used to go and see the Frames in Vicar Street. They used to also do like a kind of.
Are they that old?
Don't say that now. They used to also do like an annual gig on Halloween on British Bay Beach with a fire and all that. But in Vicar Street, they'd have a whole light show and there'd be stars on the backdrop. And it was just,
For me, that song
it
is
was
magical.
beautiful.
That song is the song I listen to when I'm sad. It's the song I listen to when I'm having a great day. It's just me song that makes me realise that everything's going to be okay. We'll get there. That and Weirdly Party On by Damo. If I'm in the car on my own, I'm having a shit day, I'll stick Party On, I'll turn the radio all the way up and I'll bait along singing Party On.
Doing
He's doing
speed.
cocaine.
Mix
Chill.
it in alcohol and go insane.
Chill.
Ah, deadly.
Like just, and I love a demo gig now. So me and my friend, Orla is my best friend in the whole world, and you know, like you've a friend that you would do anything for. Like yous two, yous are besties, so I would put yous in the besties category.
Me and him has more fights
Well, me and Orla have more
than
fights.
anybody else. Probably in
but,
Ireland, I'd say.
but could you ring him at 4 o'clock in the morning and say, I need you?
He's forever sending
No,
me pictures,
I'll ring him
pictures
at
of
4 o'clock
himself.
in the morning and tell him. I'll ring him at 4 o'clock in the morning and tell him stop ringing me phone this time.
But like Orla is the friend that I can ring at 4 o'clock. Like, perfect example, a few years ago I got broken up and I was bleeding heartbroken. I was. First girl I ever loved broke up with me, and I went down to the session and I was walking home from a house party in Poventry and I rang Orla Kenny at 4 o'clock in the morning, sobbing my heart out. sat against the wall outside the Star Project sobbing, and I rang her and she talked to me for an hour outside. She sat in bed talking to me for an hour.
Getting your heart broken is interesting.
It's
So
horrible.
is that your missus now? Is that what
No,
you're
no,
saying?
my missus is Hannah. Hannah
Oh,
is
sorry,
the
what
best
you're
as
saying
well.
there.
But Orla is my best friend in the whole wide world, who would do anything for me. Like, I could ring her and say, I just need a cup of tea and a hug, and she'd get in her car and she'd drive to me with our new baby and just give me a hug. So we go to the demo gigs. That's our
Okay.
thing. We've never missed a demo gig
Okay.
together. Like, so me and her go to every demo gig. But a few years ago, before COVID, we went to a demo gig and a hot press photographer snapped us on the front row, arm in arm, crying. What's that song? We grow stronger, we fall.
Yeah, Chris and Stevie, is it?
That one.
Yeah, it's lovely.
So that's me and Orla's favourite song together. And we were arm in arm crying. And a hot press photographer caught pictures of us. And then about 20 minutes later, he caught pictures of us jumping around having a great time.
You're a hoe for the camera.
Do you know what, Dino? People say that to me all the time.
Do you keep throwing yourself in front of the camera?
He
or-
does.
I don't, right? I actually...
He rang your man up, the suicide fella, saying, "Right, chance, 4 o'clock we can meet you now."
Did you ever ask me
Sit on the wall.
Never ask me hole. No, but... And then pictures are pictures that I will cherish forever.
I'm trying to get Martin to a Dempsey gig. I got him tickets for the Abbey Theatre, but I don't think he's quite ready to sit in a venue with me and let it all out. You know what I mean?
Martin, can I tell you, right? It's like a therapy session. I swear to God, it's like a therapy session. You go in there and you have the weight of the world on your shoulders, and you go in there and you're surrounded by like-minded people who are struggling. They're struggling like fuck to get through life. And Damo opens his mouth and hits that guitar, and your problems are gone. For that 3 hours or whatever it is, your problems are non-existent. You're there, your soul is like, I don't believe in all this soulful shite like Dean fucking out doing yoga and clapping his hands and
Or Martin with his God.
Martin with his God.
Yeah.
But I don't believe in that shite, but I swear to God, Damien Dempsey's music is just, it's soul lifting. You won't meet an angry person at a demo gig. You won't meet someone who go, oh, I'm depressed on my fucking head.
What's the soul, Jamie?
My soul, or what is their soul?
Well,
So I think my soul is... What is my soul? My soul is happiness.
that's the question I had for you. Because Martin said you should write down loads of questions, and the only question I had for you for the last few days was, what makes you happy?
What makes me happy is doing the right thing. And that's so cliche and so cheesy, but I get nothing better than satisfaction out of helping someone. I know someone is struggling. Just helping them. Just being that friendly face in someone's shit life. Someone's having a shit time. If you can be a smiley, friendly face, so be it. Like, there's an owl around the corner for me. And I say her all the time. She was up and down the road or whatever. A couple of weeks ago, it was raining her off at her lift. And I swear to God, you'd think I was after giving her €1 million. Change her life. Change her whole week. Be giving her a lift in the rain. And what makes me happy is knowing that a small deed that I do in my day can change someone's whole week.
That's right. Very
Something that
good.
takes me 30 seconds can change someone's week.
Good way to think.
What I've seen you do in the last couple of years is start to be, and I've learned this lesson as well, start to be kind to yourself.
Oh, big time. Being
Yeah,
kind
but you
yourself
have to be
is,
kind to others as well, though, haven't you?
it's important, but if you're not kind to yourself, you're no use to anybody else. I believe that. And like, people, I sit here like self-love and all that shit and think that you're going to stand in the mirror going, you're the best, you're the man, oh yeah, big guy.
I don't know
Hey,
fucking accents.
hey, big guy. That's one of my customers in the bar.
Hey, big guy, give me a double JMO.
Americans love saying that. Double
Double
JMO.
Jamie, was it?
Hi. You guys do JMO? But like, for me, self-love is lying in bed with me missus, watching shy telly, like we're watching something about yachts at the private yachts that are 50 grand a week to rent. Swear to God, we're watching it.
Candy Floss TV.
Candy Floss TV, just shy. And these people pay 50 grand to rent this yacht for a week. And it's great. And then they leave a big tip at the end. And me and her have a competition who can guess closest to the tip. Tip is 30. They leave 30 grand sometimes. And I'm like, that's for me is self-love. It's recharging the batteries. Or sometimes I sit in the car, drop her home or drop my ma home, do whatever, and I sit in the car and just listen to a bit of music. Or I love a podcast. I do love a podcast. I didn't like podcasts because my head is always going. I'm always thinking. And podcasts for me for a little while were like too much information going in to a head that already has so much information. I was trying to process it. And that's part of the ADD. And I've always struggled with that. Like, the attention span is shy.
But I also, because I have it as well, I kind of use it as a superpower.
Me too. I've learned to use it as a superpower. This is my superpower that I was given to change the world.
The world is fucked, so.
The world is bollocks. How you son? How you son?
Did you say you take, because I was on antidepressants, sertraline?
Sertraline, yeah.
The way I done it, the doctor said do it for 6 months, but I kind of done it for 3 months, and then it was all right for me.
So I took them, didn't like them, because they made me feel empty. If you know what I mean, like if you get that, they made me feel like
hollow and empty.
I wasn't me anymore. So I stopped taking them, and then I got really, really, really depressed. And I went back. There's a mental health nurse in the Civic Centre in Ballymun, and her name is Bridge Conlon, and I'll shout from the rooftops. The woman is a bleeding magician. She just understands. She just gets it. She's not a bleed. She doesn't act like a doctor. She just acts like a human. She says it's okay to feel shy. Have a shy day. Stay in bed. Do what you want.
Yeah, I've the same relationship with my doctor, which is very, very encouraging.
My doctor, and actually my own doctor as well, she takes mental health very seriously. She understands that the world is a bit fucked. But yeah, so sertraline, I took that for a while, stopped taking it, and then got really depressed. I went back on it, and I'm off it now at the moment because I'm feeling better, and I want to try and build my life back up to feeling great without relying on something. I've seen how people can become addicted to drugs like sertraline and rely on drugs. And like the first doctor I went to, I was having really bad trouble sleeping. Told her I was having trouble sleeping, and she threw sleeping tablets at me. Didn't even know me. Knew nothing about me, knew nothing about my family history, and just threw sleeping tablets at me. And I was thinking to myself, no wonder we have a fucking drug problem.
The
first doctor I went to see. She was a locum doctor. My doctor was out sick. She didn't read me file.
That's a locum doctor. I should know that because my nephew's doing pharmaceuticals in college.
So basically a locum doctor is if your doctor's out sick, it's an agency doctor.
It's an agency paid doctor. Yeah.
So on my file, my doctor has said already, I've no interest in sleeping tablets or calmers, relaxers, uppers, downers, happies, sads. No interest in them. Because I've seen young fellas in my community go to the doctor having trouble sleeping. And 6 months later they're smoking crack.
I was the same way with antidepressants, because I was seeing people and it not working, and I was like, I don't want to get antidepressants. So SSRIs, or the one I was on, sertraline, I was shiting myself to take it. But I went into my doctor, had a really honest chat, had a good cry, talked to my family, and then said, okay, I'll just ease into this. That with other things were very, very effective for me. You
talk about going to your doctor. Actually, I went to my pharmacist, would you believe? Because the pharmacist I go to, Tommy Laverty in Shangan, I've known him my whole life. And Tommy wouldn't bullshit you. And I said to him, look, I haven't really got a clue what these are. She gave me them and something else. And he said to me, Jamie, they're addictive. You're not going to like them. You're going to hate them. He said, try them if the doctor told you to try them. But, they're not really a Jamie Harrington drug. And I trusted his information, and I'm glad I did.
I don't know. Personally, I think they do more harm than good.
I didn't really have a choice, because I was kind of...
Yeah, me either.
I was hollow, felt empty, felt useless, purposeless, worthless.
And that's the worst.
I was suicidal.
See that word, purposeless?
Yeah.
That, trying to describe that to someone... So, Martin, I don't know if you've ever struggled with your mental health, but for me, the feeling of purposelessness... You don't have a purpose. You've no reason to be here. For me, everything I do revolves around having a reason to be here. Like my reason to be here this week, because I take it week by week. My life is week by week. Because I don't set expectations. I don't set goals. Because if you don't hit a goal, you feel like a tick. I failed my driving test. So what? Get over it.
I done failed mine 4 times.
There's a garden Ballymun has my name tattooed on his forehead, I'd say, looking for me. But I don't care.
Hold on, for what?
For not having a full licence.
Oh yeah, sorry.
Yeah, no, I'm not a drug dealer. I'm not a drug dealer. So I don't know, like Martin, if you've ever struggled, but the feeling of purposelessness or worthlessness or not having a purpose is horrible. And you've kids. Your purpose is to protect and provide for them children.
Family, yeah, that's right.
I don't have kids. I have a dog.
But you have family, haven't you?
Yeah, but when you're in that mental state of mind, you don't think about that. You don't think that you have a purpose. Like, you think your purpose is to sit in bed and be sad all day and wallow in your own self-pity. And, like, I remember when I was living in Sandy Hill, I was in this mad depressive state. I had just failed college. I tried so hard at college. I threw everything at it. Like, I swear to God, I was only short of bribing the teachers to give me extra lessons in there, because I wanted it so hard. I was working in a youth project, I was studying social care, and I wanted it. I wanted that piece of paper to say that I'm a youth worker, even though I'd been working as a youth worker for a year and a half, and everyone I talked to said to me, you're a great youth worker. I wanted that piece of paper, and I failed, and I lay in bed for 3 days, didn't wash myself, didn't eat, didn't sleep, just lay there in my own, wallow in my own self-pity. And for me, that feeling of purposelessness, I hadn't got a purpose because I was after failing the only thing that I was good at, was horrible. So when you mentioned that word then, I actually got a shiver up my spine.
Yeah, because I mentioned it, like I wouldn't have known it unless I'd been there. It just felt hollow. I was trying to describe it to my family. Hollow, empty, no purpose, and you don't really, other people don't really come into it because you end up in a place where it's just you and your lack of self-purpose. Life is about that purpose, having a purpose.
Yeah.
You know what I mean?
So I describe it.
It's the why. We'll do any what if we have a why.
So I describe it as, someone said to me, what's it like struggling with your mental health? And I describe it as like, it's like you're drowning, right? But everyone is standing and watching you drown. And you're calling for help and you're trying to get back up to the top, but you just can't get there. You just can't reach the top of that water to grab someone's hand. And you're sinking deeper and deeper and deeper till you hit rock bottom. And once you hit rock bottom, you feel like there's no saving you. But for me, I remember, I might get a bit sad talking about this, and I'm sorry if I do, but I remember going to my ma, walking up the stairs in my ma's house, standing at the top of the stairs, and her bedroom was in front of the stairs, and she opened the door and she said, what's wrong with you? And I just burst out crying. And she grabbed me and she hugged me.
You didn't know what was wrong with you, did you?
I didn't know what was wrong with me. But she grabbed me and she hugged me, and she gave me that big hug that only a ma can give you. And she didn't let go, and I just knew everything was going to be alright. I just knew that things were going to get better. Because like I said to you, your purpose is to mind and protect your kids. And I knew that her purpose was to mind and protect me no matter what. And I needed to be reminded of that.
I think if a person gets into, say, what you call a bad form or a bad frame of mind, it's not something that's always going. You have to think that the next day is going to be a better day, no matter what.
But when you're in that frame of mind, it's so hard to think that.
Think like that.
Like you could, like Dean, I could be depressed at me, and Dean could say to me 100 times, everything's going to be grand, Jamie, and I go, cool about it. Thanks so much. It's like, you know, when you're having a bad day and someone says, will you cheer up?
Oh, well, no, if you fucking say cheer up, hold on, I get me bleeding pom-poms.
It's not as easy as...
There's an interesting thing you said there. One was, well, you said two things that resonated with me. One was hitting the rock bottom, because I found rock bottom is a really nice place to push off. You think it's going to be where the rope is, but actually it's something you can push off. And then also the release through the crying is a really nice moment, because it's like there's a balloon that's being blown up, and then all of a sudden, and you're trying to keep that balloon together, but you know at some point this is going to blow.
Yeah.
And then you get waiting. The tears. Yeah, you get the tears coming out, and then you're celebrating almost afterwards, going, "Fucking, I'm at the crying. I'm at the feeling a feeling that was different." Was a different feeling other than worthlessness or purposelessness.
Yeah. Some people say to me all the time, what do you recommend, for feeling depressed? I recommend a good crying session. No, genuinely.
Go to a Dave Dempsey gig and cry hard.
No, but like, sometimes I swear to God, and lads, I'll be totally honest with you, sometimes I go out in my car and I get into my car and I drive out to Portmarnock or out to Howth and I sit up in Howth Head and have a little cry.
Yeah, it's deadly.
Sometimes you need it, like genuinely.
I've been there.
You just need a little cry.
So many times.
Or sometimes... And me and my ma, like, we've this weird relationship, right? She's a pen to hole, I'm a pen to hole. We're both lovely people, we both do great things, whatever. But we don't really get on a lot. Because I'm a bit cranky and she's a bit free-flowing and I like things to be organised or whatever. But sometimes I just go over to my ma's and just sit my ma's and gossip, talk shy. Do you hear what he said? And do you see what he put?
Yachts.
Talking about yachts. And I tell you, man, he didn't leave a tip. The service was atrocious, he said. Yeah, sometimes just go over to my man for a little gossip.
So, Jamie, you were planning on being a comedian, were you? You were thinking about that?
I thought, like, I'd done videos on Facebook and I was getting loads of popular hits and everyone loved me and I was bleeding. I done a stint on TV3 and they were gas. I loved that. They gave me so much creative freedom to do what I wanted. I basically wrote 6 scripts for 6 separate days. They brought me out and filmed before the elections in 2016, asking people questions about politicians that I wrote, and it was great crack. And then they brought me to the ploughing, but they told me they just said, we're bringing you to a festival in Portlaoise.
Oh, you went to ploughing championships.
And I thought I was going to electric picnic. I was like, this is playing dead. Going to electric picnic, having a great time. Got me wellies and all. They brought me to the ploughing, and I just had a great time. And then kind of I met a girl, and she told me she didn't like me doing Facebook videos because I was getting a lot of female attention. Like, people would stop you in the street for pictures and stuff, because at the time social media was so big that I was like, I hate saying this, but I was one of the OG influencers.
But you couldn't help that because you're a good looking chap, Jamie.
Stop, Brian, you make me blush.
I think the both of you have lines.
Well, like, so myself, James Donnelly, Dan McCormick, Keane Toomey, Fabu D, like all these people, we were the OG influencers. We were the OG content creators. And I stopped doing my videos then for whatever reason. And I kind of hit a creative block as well. Kind of figured out I wasn't funny anymore. And then TikTok came out. And now I love TikTok.
You figured out you weren't funny anymore?
I hadn't got a funny anymore.
Why? Was someone telling you weren't funny or what?
Kind of, yeah. Kind of as well. But also I just couldn't figure out. Like, the trends were moving so fast.
You saying you got a girlfriend and she told you that she didn't want you doing...
yeah.
Is that what put you back a bit, was it? Did it set you back?
Oh yeah, of course, yeah.
Put you in bad form, right?
She was loving my life at the time, and I would have done anything to make her happy. But now I'm really happy in where I am. I'm starting to do a bit more content creation on TikTok.
I can't figure TikTok out. I know what it is, and I'm into computers and all that. I just find it very brain damaging.
Yeah, so there's a local shop to all of us here, I'm helping with the social media a little bit because he's an older man. Nice shop, and in 3 days we've done nearly 2,000 followers on TikTok with nearly 1 million views on 3 videos.
And how does that help him?
It brings customers to his shop.
Oh, very
because
good. Okay.
he has a very niche product.
Yeah. Can you say what it is?
Yeah, of course. It's Lawrence's in Santry, Shenard shop.
Oh,
you know your man with all the millions of stuff.
yeah, it's like a little quirky shop.
Yeah. So basically, he has all the American snacks in now. All the kids are going mad for the bottles of Prime and all that crap.
Prime. What is Prime?
It's just a bleeding drink.
Who's it? Jake Paul, is it?
Yeah, Jake Paul and KSI.
He knows the most random
Logan
shit.
Paul.
Martin knows the most random shit. He knows about Britney Spears. He loves Eminem.
Do you know
and
where
he's
I
mad
get a
into
wee
Jake
mirror
Paul.
for my car?
Yeah, then the shop that you're promoting.
That's the only thing I don't have. Everything but the kitchen sink.
The least you can do is get you a mirror.
But basically, I found me funny bone again, if you know what I mean.
Yeah, he found your mojo.
I found me mojo making funny TikToks for Lawrence.
Deadly, yeah.
And I'm loving it, and I'm having a great time.
And is this does this pay your bills?
No, Jesus, no.
All right, okay.
At the moment, I'm unemployed. So if
Yeah.
anybody out there is looking for a 24-year-old, very handsome, kind of chunky young man,
Ring Jamie, he'll point you in the right
ring
direction.
me. Now, I'm happy where I'm at the minute, Dino. I'm unemployed for the first time since I was 16.
You just call me Dino.
Dino, yeah. That's what I've called
You're
you.
unemployed since the first time you were 16, and you're 28 now, are you?
24.
24, sorry, you got that wrong. And you were
So
working...
are you saying it feels good to be unemployed?
Do you know what? It does. It feels good to be unemployed. It feels good to be unemployed.
Welcome to Ireland.
Now, I'm doing a few bits.
You have a
I'm
bit of
doing
extra
few
time
bits.
for yourself to do.
I'm doing a few bits. I
You're
am.
an artist, Jamie. You're an artist.
But like, I'm doing a few deliveries on the side and all that shy. But I'm happy to have some time to find myself again.
I think you're happy.
I'm happy. I'm just happy to be alive.
Because you can get knee deep in everyone else's expectations of you.
Big time.
And trying to satisfy everyone else's
I only bought these trousers so
version
someone else is wearing them.
of who Jamie Harrington is, or who Martin is, or who Dean is, you know?
Have you ever collaborated with Dean Scurry in the comedy business?
He's doing a podcast with me now, isn't he?
Because you know that Dean was a comedian for 10 years, yeah?
No.
Dean, go on, tell him about it. Well,
I know all about
This is
Dean.
where Martin
Jamie,
bigs me up
Jamie,
for a half an
I
hour.
know all about Dean's
I'm going to
comedy.
give you a little bit of a break
One of my
here.
favourite videos
Come
on
on,
the
Dean,
internet
tell him
is
all
Dean
about it,
ringing
will ya?
the Department of Defence.
Yeah.
I want to teach my child defence. Have you ever heard that one, have you?
Go on, give him a chance. Give him a chance, Jamie.
Have you? I want to teach my child
we
defence.
can sit back and we'll-
Karate.
I don't know how well that will go down now, because it's me doing like
Yeah.
my version of an African accent coming to Ireland.
I done a video a few years ago and got in big trouble for it.
I don't really care.
No, me either.
Come here, there was a bit that you mentioned. You were in the old L Dubliner,
L Dubliner and
and you left there, and you went into the civil service. How did you get in there? You obviously have to do it like they
got into a recruitment
advertise.
agency.
Say again?
True recruitment agency.
They advertise, you go for the job, you get
Yeah.
civil servants. Because I know somebody who got a civil servant job recently. What were you doing?
I was a broadcast complaints officer, but it was just too clinical for me. The person who I was working under, she was there 34 years.
So it's kind of like, really embedded civil servant
Yeah.
ways of working.
Yeah.
And that doesn't suit your free
Like-
spirit.
I wasn't putting dates on tops of emails and I was getting disciplinaries for it. Like, or I called somebody mister.
If it's not happening Jamie's way, it's not gonna happen at all.
So someone emailed in, say it was Dean Scurry, and I replied, Dear Dean, instead of Dear Mr. Scurry.
Yeah, you were very formal. Here,
I was
pal.
very informal.
Here, pal.
I wasn't
Oh,
formal
sorry,
enough.
sorry, you were
So
very
the-
informal. Here, pal, do you want to meet me down at the Liffey and we'll have chats?
They forgot you came from Ballymun.
But it wasn't even that. They just forgot I was a human. I wasn't just a robot.
Oh, that's what I wanted to say to
That's
you.
true.
When you were sitting down with your man chatting shit at the bleeding Liffey, what I seen was you just connected with his humanity.
Yeah, we were just two humans.
Yeah.
We weren't rich man, poor boy, whatever, you know.
Boy missing from school, he
Disadvantage.
wasn't there.
It was nothing
Lad
about
on
that.
the bench from the special school.
It was nothing about that. It was two human beings having a human moment. And actually, about a year later, I was working in Dublin 2020. Do you remember Dublin 2020 then? Capital
Yes,
Culture
it was
bit.
our campaign to get the City of Culture for 2020.
Yeah, we failed miserably. Great campaign.
Aye, we went for it though.
But there's a fella from Ballymun who I see every day try to throw himself into the Liffey off the boardwalk. And I seen it from the office window and ran down the office
From
stairs.
Ballymun.
From Ballymun, see him every day. Ran down the office stairs, jumped over the little wall at the boardwalk, and me and an English tourist dragged him off.
Serious.
Swear to God, yeah.
And you must have learned your lesson because you didn't go on the Late Late Show for that.
No, I fucking didn't tell anybody about that. You were the first person to know. But I see him every day, and every day he says to me, "Alright, you want to change my life?"
I think you like a little bit of that where you get a connection to life by interacting with people in a positive way.
Yeah, I just love positivity. I do. I'm guilty of being negative sometimes, as we all are. But I love being positive. I love having a positive outlook. Everything will be alright. The way I see it is, as long as there's petrol in my car, my insurance and my taxes paid.
And you can live rent free with your dad.
And I can, well, no, I don't live around for my dad, but I can say to my dad, I'm on my arse this week, I'll give you something next week. I'm happy, I'm just plodding along, I'm doing my thing.
Yeah, and there's no big expectations to be the next super sensation on TikTok.
The one thing we were talking about this earlier, and the one thing I'll say again is, like you said, be myself for the rest of my life. I wouldn't be this person I am without the work that was put into me by the people of Ballymun. Our ones in the shops. I used to hang around the shops when I was younger. Let me carry the bags out of their car, give me £2, whatever. Youth workers, I say it again, Tracy Hickson was a woman sent to this, and you believe in God, and I'll tell you this, Tracy Hickson was a woman sent from heaven to earth to be a youth worker. She brought us up to Hellfire Club every Halloween, just for a laugh. Just for a laugh. I remember a young fella ran into a train, knocked himself out. It was the funniest moment in my life. Tanya Ray, the patience that woman had. You, Dean, I know you don't like when people say nice things about
I have
you,
no problem with receiving compliments.
but you
He wasn't
genuinely
giving you a
don't.
compliment.
You don't get the credit in this community.
I'm alright, I don't need it.
No, I know you don't.
No,
Jamie,
go on, sorry.
Jamie,
it
I
is
have to stop you
appreciated.
there. His head is big enough. It's
No,
okay.
but
Yeah.
it is. It's appreciated. The work you do in this community for young people that nobody ever knows about, that nobody ever hears about. Same with Sparky.
He doesn't even realise that himself, you know that?
And Sparky's the
Because he has
same.
no
all
clue
made
what
up.
he's doing.
Sparky's the same. Sparky will tell you he does nothing. Out saving lives on the daily.
Yeah, I think
Like, youth work saves lives, in my opinion. Like,
I think
if-
what we're just doing is what we're here to do. We just do it.
Yeah, it's
you know.
just part of your life.
Anyway, Jay, before we come in here, Dean wanted to tell me to let you know he wants to tell you a couple of jokes before he leaves.
Ah, lovely.
Before we finish up.
Yeah,
Go on, John, Dean,
as
go
soon
on.
as you give me
let one or two out
as soon
there.
as you give me 8 bars of your favourite
Don't get all
song.
shy
man.
now.
So I'm after doing
He's
you a
getting all
favour.
shy. Look,
I'm
watch.
after doing you a favour and coming on the podcast, right? I'm
Yeah,
meant to be
and
going
I-
to cinema
and I-
with my
and I,
missus,
what
right?
do you call it?
We're meant to be going to
Introduced,
see Cocaine
I made the
Bear.
introduction.
This is
So he
male
got the-
bonding at its best,
We're
lad.
meant to be going to see
I
Cocaine
made the
Bear.
introduction.
So
So
will
he
you-
got to finish it up. You know what I'm
Will
saying?
you sing a song for me?
The problem
if
is
you
now.
don't want to sing,
The problem is now I'm breaking a promise because I
Something
promised you.
inside, so strong.
What's your favourite song, Mark?
So
I
strong.
promised you that Dean would tell you a couple of jokes.
Well, Dean will tell me a joke and me. What's your
That's
favourite?
me breaking my promise
But
now.
what is
isn't
your
it?
favourite song?
Come on, Dean.
I'm not going to ask you to sing. What's your favourite song? Honestly.
I don't have a favourite
So
song.
I
Jimmy.
have a favourite song, and
Go on,
is there
say it.
copyright laws on this?
No,
you
go on.
can sing whatever you want.
No, but I want to play a song and Martin's going to sing along to it. It's a TikTok song. Of course the signal is shouting in the studio. But there's a song going around TikTok at the moment going, I'm proud to be a traveller. And I'd love you to sing it.
Go on, Dean.
Do you know that song?
No, I've not heard it.
I'm proud to be
I
a
heard
traveller.
that a million times, but not the song. About travellers themselves.
But I want to hear you singing.
if I can learn that song, we'll sing it again next time we're on. Fair enough.
I'm never going to be
But
on
for
again.
now, for now, I want to get the
I
comedian.
really enjoyed it.
For now, I want to get the comedian and tell a few jokes to you there, Jamie, okay?
I'm delighted that Martin asked you on. He was really
Yeah.
excited.
You know, he wasn't going to tell you I was coming on. He was going to just bring me.
We were going to bring him on as a surprise and slag you out of it. But the problem is, Jamie had too much to tell us, so we couldn't get around to that.
Martin,
Maybe next time,
Martin
Jamie,
loves me so much, right, that he can't express it in like normal terms.
Yeah.
So he tries to have to rip me down. But a few weeks ago, I hadn't seen him in about 10 days, and he came up to the studio and just like ran across and a big hug.
Jamie, you know how,
That's
know
the
how
real-
sick of me
that's the
he
real
is, right?
stuff.
Watch this. He basically, I can ring him, yeah? He won't answer the phone. Watch this. Now, this is very annoying because I might have something to tell him, yeah?
Yeah.
I'll maybe organise what time we're coming here or whatever, right? And I ring him again and he won't answer the phone, yeah? So there and then I go on to WhatsApp, yeah? There he is online.
Oh, not more simple.
Now, I send him a message then. I'm a bigger idiot now, so I'll still send him a message, yeah? And what happens? He won't even reply. Won't even look into
Does
the
he
message.
send you voice notes?
No, he
Oh, I hate
randomly.
people that send voice
I
notes.
keep telling him,
Send
don't send me
podcasts.
messages in because why? I mightn't get until that evening.
Yeah.
Because if I get a call, I'll answer it straight away. But sometimes I get messages on the phone, but it's on silent, so I mightn't hear them or whatever.
You know what my status
I
is
keep
on
telling
WhatsApp?
him.
Typing ...
I
Is it?
keep
Yeah.
yeah.
So when people pick up the phone, they go, "He's typing, and they be
So
there
I
for
think
about
that's
3 hours.
I think there's a bit of madness in that, you know that.
That's funny.
No,
Oh, I'm
it's
going to do
good.
that.
I turn all notifications off for everything. So the person I'd ring back straight away.
Go on, Dean, tell
Is-
me the
is
reason
Emma.
why. Yeah.
So
Right.
Emma would be the only person I'd ring back straight away. Even me mum, me dad, or whatever.
Right.
You know what I mean?
I met your man, Dad, by the way. Lovely
Oh,
people.
they're great.
Lovely heart to the soul.
Why do you turn all your notifications off so people
Because
can't
I'm
see?
not interested in.
No, why? What's your reason for it? Go on.
Well, one of them's actually it's a mental health thing.
Yeah.
Because I remember, especially when I was doing the Apollo House campaign, and in the hardest part of it, it was, you know, when people say my phone was blown up, it was like one of them. It was like 10,000 in a day.
Yeah.
And I was like, oh, how do you turn all these off? And from that day, I kind of just went, turn everything,
Yeah, drive you
absolutely
mad.
everything off. There's no need for it.
No, there's not.
You know what I mean? I think the more peace and quiet and chilled out you can get in your life, great, because we're plugged onto our phones too
I'm
much.
plugged onto my phone, but I'm strung out on games. Like stupid games. Like, I love Candy Crush. I could sit and play Candy Crush for 20 hours.
Yeah.
I love Candy
Also,
Crush.
here's an invitation to you, and I'd love Martin to take me up on it as well. The three of us, in the summer when it gets a bit warmer, we go out to the High Rock and we jump into the sea.
No, I can't do that.
Now, the
Oh,
only
you, can,
problem...
you can walk in then.
I can just
Martin,
about swim in the pool.
Martin,
We'll
I
walk in.
swear to God, I have a fear of it. So a good friend of ours, Darren White, brought me out swimming. Actually, the first time I met your brother was that day. I was at home depressed down. I was after making a pasta bake. And my plan was to get into bed and eat a pasta bake straight out of the tray. Because I was so depressed. And Darren rang me and said, go and swimming, you coming? Out of the blue. Hadn't heard from him in weeks. I went swimming and I get in and I swear to God, I get out, felt like a new man. I put a post on Instagram with no top on and said, here I am, stretch marks and all, love me body and love me mind. And you know what? I felt
That's
I was on top of the world, right? Martin, I won't jump in because I hate that fear of hitting the water, but I swear to you, I make a promise to you, we'll walk in together.
I can't jump in because I can't.
We'll walk in
Excuses
together.
with
We'll walk
Martin Stokes.
Can't swim.
Hello, folks, and
You don't
welcome
have
to
to- we'll walk
Excuses
in.
with
We'll-
Martin
we'll all
Stokes.
walk in.
Tell you what, you do jump, I'll just video you, yeah?
No, we'll walk in.
Dane,
It'll be
I
like a
think-
baptism. It'll be a religious experience.
Someone has to hold the camera.
I have a GoPro at home. Don't ask me why.
So where did he jump from anyway?
OnlyFans.
There's a place that I go
In
to
Holt, is it?
in Portmarnock called the High Rock. But we can go in off the beach at Portmarnock as
Martin,
well.
it is. It's a lovely experience. I promise you.
Yeah.
Do you want me to
you
do it
can
with Traveller's
wait
Voice?
till like a
Jim
decent time in the summer.
Dean does it every day, so I don't want it's exciting for him.
I swear to Jesus, I'll bring you. It'll be lovely. It'll be lovely.
I swear to God, Jamie.
I swear to God. I swear in the Bible. I wouldn't lie to you.
What's the traveller's favourite bar? A crowbar.
How are you getting on? We're doing your neighbour's driveway. A bit of tarmac left over. Best place you'll find.
We'll be all over the Irish Traveller movement bleeding website.
No, like I said, there's
Two
no
Ballymun
malice.
lads slagging
There's no
travellers.
malice. It's alright, isn't it? I can't be a racist. I have a traveller friend.
yeah. Jamie Harrington,
Oh my
episode
God.
26.
Pleasure to be
I
on.
had a lot of fun with that. That
Me
was
too.
deadly.
Nice one, Jamie. Thanks for coming on, kids.
Martin, thanks for bumping into me in the kebab shop.
So that's us for this episode. A Traveller and a Countryman podcast. If you like it, let us know. Share it around. And should we see you on the road?